Hi, I'm Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here just to give you words of encouragement. Listen, you are a gift. Imagine getting a present at Christmas time, wrapped up, beautiful, inside something that you have asked for, but you don't open that gift. You don't take the ribbon off, open the box, and get inside to get what you really possess. You are that gift. God has given you to the world, wrapped up with a beautiful ribbon. Now it's time for you to open the box. It's time for you to seek your heart, to seek God's face, to see who you were meant to be all that you were called to be. Don't be afraid. In fact, in spite of your fear, step out anyway. Each step will empower you. I just want to remind you that you are a gift for the world. My name is Yasmina, and I would like to remind you to just say yeah. Hi, everybody. It's me, Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm super excited to be here today. I'm super excited about the topic that we're going to talk about, which is independence. I'm super excited about our guest because, of course, it just happens to flow with a passion of mine, so I can't help but be super excited. I am, right now, I want to give a shout out to Shawana, who just landed in Ohio a few hours ago after like 33 hours of airport hoopla, but she's finally there. So today we have Lynetta Whittle in the house, and I'm going to have these wonderful, beautiful women, including our guests, introduce themselves. And our guest is none other than Tonya Brookter. She's an IFBB professional women's physique competitor, and we are, have her here today. We're going to talk about her comeback story because her comeback story has to do with, in my eyes, independence. Her being moving forward and who she is, and walking in the freedom of who Tonya is. So we had to have her on because she has an amazing story to tell, and about how you can have setbacks, but it doesn't mean it's a set down. So, ladies, Lynetta, you start. Tell us who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lynetta Small Little. I'm the owner of a Little Love Daycare and soon to be school psychologist.
Bam! And we're going to talk about that too in a minute, some accomplishments you did. And beautiful, tell us, who are you? Tonya?
Oh, sorry, I can barely hear.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Tonya Brookter. I am an IFBB pro bodybuilder, and I currently run my own nutrition and online personal training business.
I love it. I love it. So everybody, we're going to hear more from Tonya through this broadcast. We're going to hear about how we can contact her. We're going to hear about how you can get in touch with her for training, for nutrition tips, because this is what she does. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Today we are talking about independence. And it says here, I looked it up, independence is the fact or state of being independent. Okay? So what does independent mean? Well, it's free from outside control, not depending on another's authority. So independence is a big word. Independence is something that we need to look at. I also looked up the word comeback because I just wanted to know what it means. And comeback is a return by a well-known person, especially an entertainer or sports player, to the activity in which they have formerly been successful. So we are going to talk today to Tonya about that comeback story and why that's important and how to move forward no matter what. No matter what. So before we go into this topic, I have to highlight our graduate here. Lynetta Small Whittle music. Here it goes. Da, na, 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 na. So tell us your accomplishments. Give us some updates because we've missed you the last couple of shows. Tell us what's been going on. And
so I finally wrapped up my bachelor's in early education. And I am so excited. So everybody knows last year, 2020, I graduated from FCC, Fresno City College, with 3 degrees.
There's your
and
picture.
Then I moved on to Fresno Pacific and received my BA. I was just accepted into the school psychology program at Fresno Pacific College. So I'll get ready to start. I'm getting ready to start that in August. So I have been booking, and the next stop is my PhD. So I'm already like seeing it and speaking it. I know it's there. It's coming. So
Yes,
I've
it
been busy.
is. Yes, it is. Well, while you were speaking, Michael was showing pictures of you in your cap and gown. And you
Yeah.
look so beautiful, that smile up there.
Thank
I noticed that your cap says, "Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire."
you.
Tell us what
Absolutely.
that phrase means to you.
Absolutely. I truly believe and know in my heart that anything that I desire, anything that I want, I'm going to get it. I can get it. I can achieve everything that I set my mind to. And through the power of God, it just makes it even more better and sweeter for me. So I'm a go-getter. No is not a word to me. No is yes. They're like, no, yeah. Okay, you saying yes?
That's it.
Walk through that door. No, don't walk through the door. No, you told me to walk through the door. That's yes. So I'm an achiever.
I love that, and I just thank you for being that because it's such an example to the rest of us.
Thank
And
you.
then, and you're always just so
Aw.
you're compassion, and so I
Yes.
had to take this time to highlight and to commend you on your achievements. And I know you're
Thank
not
you.
stopping. And then, of course,
Thank
that
you.
leads me into our beautiful guest today, Tonya Brookter.
Yes.
Please tell us more about who you are. I know you already introduced yourself, but tell us a little bit more about you. How long you've been training? What moved you to start moving into the passion of competing? And what is your why? Please share.
Oh, my why, I've always been passionate about training since high school. I've always been on the board with the top, 5, 10 in the whole weight room
Love it.
ordeal. Yeah. So, I always like to see my name up there. But I've been passionate about the bodybuilding. I used to remember getting magazines and just going straight to the back of the book and looking at all the figure competitors and just like one day I'm going to do that. And it so happened I fell into the right place at the right time in 2008. I was going through a divorce and I ran into the right people and I fell in love with the sport. I won my first show and it was go after that.
Yes.
Ooh, I love it. That is
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. And you too.
And my home is the gym. So, I mean, that's my second, well, pretty much my first home, but yeah.
Your first.
Your
Yeah,
first,
my first
there it
one.
is. Understood, understandable. I want to commend you as well because you two are truly inspirations. And so I think
Thank
it's
you.
important that people know when they are an inspiration to others because we should know your light, both of you, your light is shining and your love of what you do. And that's why that light is so bright. And so I thank you because you guys inspire me. So I know how I can only imagine how many more people that you guys inspire, and that's amazing. That's
Right.
a powerful position to be in. So I just wanted to thank you
Thank
both on
you.
that. So we are going to talk. Tonya, I'm going to keep this on you. You are in the process of it's a comeback, which honestly, I'm looking at you now. You back, baby. You back.
amazing.
But
Yeah.
but tell us what the comeback is all about and why there was a time that you had to stop.
Well, I turned pro in 2014 and I won the overall at the USA. So that was like very like big deal. And then I was placing top 5 in pro shows. And then I had kind of a hip injury. I was teaching boot camp, which Lynetta used to attend all the time. And
Yes.
we would do a lot of plyometric stuff. And I thought I just
Yeah.
tore a labrum, but unfortunately I was born with hip dysplasia. And I won't go too deep into that, but it was where your joint's not fully covered.
Yeah.
So I
okay.
believe the wear and tear, the plyometric stuff, the training all these years, I believe it just kind of just wore itself out. And I kept training because I was just that person that, no, I'm going
Right.
to heal. It'll heal. And I have a high tolerance for pain. So I just kept going and kept going. Well, I was getting ready to do the Lou Ferrigno in 2016 with my best friend. We were finally going to get to compete together again because she turned pro. And my leg was just muscle atrophy kicked in, and my leg was probably 2 sizes smaller than my right leg. So I was like 6'6", and I had to quit because there was no way symmetry wise I was even gonna place top 10 at that point. So took time off, tried to figure out what it was. Finally got into the right doctor, and I was bone on bone at that point. And there was no other option but a hip replacement. So I have a fake titanium hip in. So to answer your question, my comeback is full on new leg. I did not think, honestly, I was going to come back, but I waited for the best doctor in Fresno. I waited 6 extra months on top of my weight already. And he told me I can compete. So I'm going to do it. I'm 48, you know, and I wanted to show people that no matter what, as long as you listen to your body, you're capable of moving forward.
That is absolutely an amazing story, because really, if everyone can hear what she said, she just had total hip replacement not too long ago, okay? So she's back in the gym full force. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think that's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The courage that it takes even to get back out there and to trust what has been done, to trust the process, to trust what the doctors did. That's freedom in itself. That's independence in itself. And so you being back in your vein fully, I'm happy for you, because I'm very happy for you, because now you are truly walking in your freedom. And that's what it's about, everybody, is moving forward and who we are and that being free. So we're going to go ahead and I know we started a little late, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be back in just like 2 minutes. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When you get hungry, remember Barbecue Bob.
Location is 409 Fresno Street on the corner of Fresno and Jones on the Golden West side of Fresno. The phone number is 559-375-1259, and we invite you to come out. You will not be disappointed.
My name is Marcia Chatlin. I'm a professor of history and African American studies at Georgetown University. I'm a historian of African American life and culture. Juneteenth is a commemoration holiday of June 19th, 1865, when a group of African Americans in Galveston, Texas, received the news that they indeed were free. President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, but news of the end of slavery in Texas had not traveled to this community until 1865. Since then, Juneteenth has been a day of commemoration of the struggle against slavery and a celebration of freedom. One of the biggest misconceptions about Juneteenth is that people often think that was the day that slavery ended in the United States. But in fact, the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery in the United States, was passed in the Senate on April 8, 1864, and the House on January 31st, 1865. Although Juneteenth celebrates the knowledge that slavery had ended, it's important to remember that the conditions that mirrored slavery, whether it was Jim Crow or the suppression of civil rights or continued struggles to fight racism, those continued long after the end of slavery. And so the Juneteenth holiday reminds us of where we've come, and it also inspires us to think about the places we want to go. As African Americans left the South to pursue opportunities throughout the 20th century in northern and western cities, the celebration of Juneteenth moved from being a Texas-based celebration to a national one, in which people gathered with families and friends and community to remember the incredible struggle of a people against slavery and to create new traditions that allowed them to reflect about the struggle for civil rights and the ongoing struggle against racism. Although slavery was abolished in 1865, the fight for civil rights has continued to the present day. So Juneteenth provides people with a sense of encouragement and inspiration to continue to fight on behalf of their community and their families for freedom. And it also is a holiday that, as it continues to become more and more popular, it allows people to look back at the past and encourages them to learn more about African American history. As more and more institutions recognize Juneteenth and work to commemorate the incredible legacy of slavery in the United States, I hope Juneteenth becomes a day where people commit not only to acts of justice in their local community, but to investigate history in a more deep and thoughtful way.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and we are back. We are here just talking about what it means to love me, love life, live healthy. No, not love me, but although I'd like you to love me, but to love yourself and what that means to independence and how important that is to walk in your freedom of who you are. So we have, of course, Lynetta Whittle here, and we have IFBB Pro Tonya Brookter here, and we are just talking about that subject. For those of you who were able to see the video that we just played, it's about Juneteenth. Now, I know you're probably thinking, this is July 4th is tomorrow. Why are you talking about Juneteenth? Well, because we should. We weren't here to physically be able to talk about it that day, but Juneteenth is relevant every day. So that's why we are bringing this up, and we're talking about independence, so why would we not bring that up? Juneteenth, of course, as the video, as you saw, is, let's see, Independence Day, historically known as Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and Black Independence Day. It is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. Now, there is a little controversy regarding Juneteenth because of the date and what if the slaves were truly free or not at that time, and truly it wasn't until December of 1865 when, there's that. But we aren't going to look into all of that right now. We're just looking about the subject in and of itself, and we're going to have our own Texas-born person here, Texas-bred blood here. What does Juneteenth mean to you? Share with us.
Juneteenth is the end of slavery, and we acknowledge that as African American, as Black people, that is the end of slavery. I don't care if it was 1862 to 1944. Listen, slavery ended, and I'm grateful for that. That's right. So that's what Juneteenth means to me. I also teach my children about Juneteenth, not just 4th of July, but throwing our history in there, because we are truly a part of American history, and there's nothing or no one that can cover that up or deny it. This is what happened. It's a hard truth, and it's time for all of us to start healing from that and moving forward and treated like human beings.
I like that. That is absolutely right and correct, and thank you so much for sharing with us. We all have to acknowledge where we've come from
Absolutely.
And yes, we all have work to do, but we've come a long way. So we need to keep moving forward in that strength. So thank you so much for sharing.
And you know what, Yasmina, I always tell people too, it's like your hand being placed on a hot stove. Those nerves in your fingertips tell you not to do that again.
That's right.
So that's how I look at Juneteenth. That slavery that took place in America shouldn't have taken place. And now we should be able to like not touch that stove again. There's not going to be slavery anymore. That's over. You know. So that's
Absolutely.
always, you know, place it to.
Absolutely. And that's why it is nice celebrating each and every one of our accomplishments.
Absolutely.
The accomplishment
Yes.
where Tonya has come from and where she's going, where you have come from and where you're going.
Right.
Where it's important that we acknowledge it, that we take that time to do that, because that truly is freedom. Tonya, I can only imagine on this journey, this amazing journey that you have been on, and that there were times that there were challenges, that there were times when it was difficult to move forward. Can you please share with us what type of what you did or tips to move forward during those times when you were feeling that maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe my days for this is over? Can you share with us what you were thinking and how you were feeling at that time?
Yeah, there was times where I did think that, but I have a strong support system. My husband being my number one fan.
Yeah.
My family, they're always supporting everything about my bodybuilding career. And there was a time, you know, I thought, well, I don't think I'm going to be able, my age, you know, I'm getting older. I got to make this hip last me another 25 years, you know, all that negative talk. But I knew that I still had it in me, and I knew I could come back, and I knew I could do even better than what I was prior to my injury. And with, like I said, it takes a village, and I have a good support system. But if it wasn't for that, like, some people turn to, you know, alcohol, some people turn the other way. But I encourage you, always go the positive route.
That's right.
Gym, you know, always do the positive things. Don't turn to the alcohol.
Thank
which
you.
most people usually would.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I just want everyone to hear that even, you know, we look at people and we look at those that are doing such amazing and great things, and we think, well, it's different for them. We think, well, they don't have it. It's hard for me. It's not like they don't understand. Like I would be able to if I didn't have this or if this, but that is not the case. You can move forward in spite of. And one of the things that Tonya pointed out is that support system. Another thing I wanted to point out too, because I have ways that we can move forward in our independence, and one of those things is our language, our voice, what we're saying to ourselves. We have to remember that there's life and that there's power of life and death is in our tongue, right? So we have to speak life. When we have those negative thoughts coming, we have to be able to process them, but now say the right thing instead. Replace those thoughts with life-giving words. It's very important that we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and mention some ways that we can move forward in our independence, because I know a lot of times we talk about things, but then people are like, okay, but then what do I do? How do I do it? So we're going to all share in this and give our points on what to add to it. So here are just 10 ways. There's so many different ways, but we're just going to give 10. Why? Just because. So 10 ways. Self-reflection is one. That is very important, that we stop and assess where we are currently. We cannot move forward in life unless we know and accept where we are now. It's not like a test, you know, you're taking a test and it's wrong, there's right and wrong. No, life, it's an ongoing journey. So if you find that you're in a place you're not happy with, or you find that you're in a place that you would like to move forward to, you have 2 examples here of women who did their self-reflection, had their thoughts, but they moved forward anyway, because after they self-reflected, they moved forward. So learning to enjoy alone time. Tonya, can you expound on that for us? do you feel that that's important, alone time? And can you tell us ways that we can make that happen for ourselves if you do think that's important?
Yeah, I do believe in alone time, especially sometimes you're at the gym as well. Like my husband and I, we train together pretty much every day, but there's one day out of the week where I go by myself, and it's
Right.
that. And not that I love working out with him. It's just that one day I do look forward to it because it's that balance, and I check myself. It's like that's my day where I check myself and be like, you can do this. I have my self talks, and because you still have that little voice in your head telling you, are you
Yeah.
sure? Are you sure you're gonna? You sure you can do this? And so I take those days, my alone days, to reflect and talk to myself, to push and keep pushing forward. And yes, so I do believe in alone time.
Ooh, I
Not all
like
the
that.
time, but
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. And if everyone noticed that her and her husband, first of all, are a team. And first of all, second of all, that team works together, but that team also recognizes and respects each other's space. So they've set it where it's a timing where once a week, that is what happens. So it's important that you put you on your schedule, put you on your calendar. That is very important. Lynetta, I'd like you to speak on what it means to change our vocabulary as we're trying to move forward in independence.
You know what? This is huge. I just finished a book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Terry Bradbury, and it talks about self-management. The difference between an individual that doesn't have this tool versus someone that does have the tool is that they're all over the place. They don't know how to settle themselves and hear their own voices. It is so important to change the way you talk to yourself. Even you don't want anyone to talk, crazy to you, say these crazy things like you can't do it. If you tell somebody your dream, like, Tonya, you coming back like, I don't think you should be a bodybuilder,
Right.
maybe a secretary,
Right.
Now that's versus you telling yourself that, like, Tonya, it's me, it's me, you. I don't think we can do it. That can become so damaging, and that is damaging, and it can hinder and stop so many things that's in your life. So it's important to grab those thoughts and control them. You can tell yourself to shut up, and guess what's going to happen?
Yes.
You're going to shut up.
Yes.
So it's like that the battle is everything, and you can overcome it.
Ooh, thank you so much because we talk about our homeland defense, and they talk and how they are always checking out the chatter to see if things are happening so they can defend our country. Well, you are your country.
Yes.
You are the captain of your ship. Control the chatter that goes on in here.
Right.
And instead of focusing on why am I thinking this way, when it comes, just don't let it come. We know what we should say and what we should not. So even right now, everybody, if you just start an exercise today is just start being mindful of the thoughts that come in your head. Be mindful of the things that you say. So that's the first thing to do because it is vital. Lynetta is absolutely right. What you say and what you allow others to say around you is important. As we saw, Tonya spoke of the support system that she has. It's very important to have life around you. Here's one right here. Tonya, how about understand your own wants, needs, and desires? When you were in that stage where you're okay, your doctor says, okay, I'm now giving you the green light. That moment when you had to come to yourself and say, I'm going to go back. Your wants, your needs, the desires. How was it understanding that and then just moving forward in it?
It's crazy because the old Tonya would have went straight into full-blown workouts as soon as he gave me the green light. But the new Tonya took 6 months, almost 8 months, I think, to come back in full-blown. Like I didn't even come back right away because I knew what I wanted. My desire was to get back on stage, but I needed my hip to heal fully 100% for that to happen. Because if I would have messed anything up, there was no second surgery. I would have just probably been in a wheelchair. So yeah, I wanted it so bad that I listened more than I usually would have the old Tonya.
Thank you so much
Good.
for that, because that is so key, everybody. Being patient and trusting the process.
Yes.
If
That is
anything this has taught
important.
me is patience, because I was a very, very impatient person prior to my injury. So yes, you hit that right there, the patience.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and everybody, you be mindful of that, the patience in the process, and that there's stages and steps to everything. That doesn't mean be a bull in a china shop. Yes, I can go. I got the green light. Boom, I'm gonna go. No, 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 no. Wisdom is what Tonya used. And okay,
Yep.
now, with the knowledge I have, with what I know, let me do this in the right timing and pace, because this is what I want and what I need, what my desires, they can all mesh, but it's all a timing thing. And in order for me to be in this game for the long run, I need to do this the wise way. So that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because I know a lot of times we want it today. I want it today, but then you have to do the self-talk and go, okay, now really, no, there's not today. That's not how it works. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see, Lynetta, know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yes.
Can you
A
expound
lot of people,
on that?
yes, a lot of people, it's easy to know your strength, right? We quick to say, I'm an independent woman. I could do any and everything. I'm well around people.
Right.
I'm that social butterfly. It's easy to do that. But when you talk about a weakness, that's true strength. When you could pick out your weakness and master your weakness, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. So when you tackle that, get that piece of paper. I always tell everybody, get a piece of paper and a pencil, write down your weakness, and start working on each one on that list and mark it off. And you will see that difference in your life within like weeks to months.
Ooh, I love that. That's an action step, everybody. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Get out that paper. If you do nothing else this week, at least do that. Everyone should be journaling anyway. So you get out that paper and you write down, put a line in the middle and your strengths.
Yes.
Be comfortable with saying, you know what? I'm good at this. Be comfortable with saying, you know what? I can do this very well. Be comfortable with that. But also, there are things that we don't do well. But like Lynetta said, it's okay. It's okay. We don't always have the answers. We don't always know what to do. We're not at all. There are people that do, though. So we need to work on that. That's part of the process. And those are things that need to be done in order to walk in our independence. And that's what we're talking about today, everybody. Yes. Remember, we want to move forward in our independence. So, yes, I have, actually, we're going to take a break. We're going to go ahead and take one last break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to continue on this. I know, I wish we could have like a 5-hour show. And then we can that would be so cool. You can show us your routine and everything. We're going to have you come back on and post. But,
yes.
But we'll be right back. We'll see you in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Aqua Nails Spa is the most luxurious nails and spa salon in Fresno and Clovis. Our staff are friendly, courteous, and highly skilled. Come in and let us pamper you. Located at 1398 Shaw Avenue in Clovis, California, on the southwest corner of Shaw and Sunnyside. Also located at 1850 Herndon Avenue, Suite 111 in Clovis, California.
On July 2nd, 1776, the 13 colonies of the Second Continental Congress approved the Resolution of Independence. The Committee of Five, led by Thomas Jefferson of Virginia and including Robert Livingston of New York, Roger Sherman of Connecticut, John Adams of Massachusetts, and Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania, then spent the next 2 days writing the Declaration of Independence. It was ratified and published on the 4th of July. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We at Life is a Special Operation believe that life is special, and because life is special, it is especially good when we can celebrate life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Sadly, there are billions of people on this planet who are not yet free. And although we will continue to fight for their freedom, today we pause to celebrate ours. Happy Independence Day. I hope you appreciate and are able to celebrate your freedom today with your closest loved ones.
Hey everybody, we're back. Hey, and you know who I am. I'm Yasmina of Just Say Yeah. We have Lynetta, we have IFBB Pro Tonya Brookter here. We are here talking about independence. We're talking about steps and how to move forward in our independence. And we're talking about how, no, it's not an easy thing to do. Yes, it takes work, but it's necessary in order to go forward and live literally a happy, healthy life. And a happy, healthy life is an independent life, a life of independence. And that's what we are talking about. So right now we just saw a little short video about 4th of July, another day of independence. And we know that Independence Day is a federal holiday in the United States, commemorating the Declaration of Independence of the United States on July 4th. Celebrates the country's separation from the British Empire in 1776 and the founding of the U.S. So, okay, the elephant in the room. Not everybody's happy in the United States, but look, I live here, I'm happy. Let me say that. Yes, like with everything, it's a process. We're moving forward, but we need to celebrate. And so many of you out there, it's funny because many people celebrate 4th of July, but not necessarily are happy really with the roots of it. But hey, it's part of independence, so celebrate. Just like with Juneteenth, we celebrate where we are. We're celebrate moving forward. So that's what this is about. And today just happens to be July 3rd. Tomorrow is 4th of July. So ahead of time, happy 4th of July to everybody. But we're going to go on and talk more. We're going to do a few more tips on how to move forward in our independence. So let's see. Tonya, you're next on this list. It says here to know your own personality. What are your thoughts on that as it relates to a person moving forward in their independence?
Personality?
Yes, knowing your own personality.
Always own it. Always wake up in the morning and own it, because you can wake up and be, just have that mood, and it can ruin your whole day, your whole week, your whole month. Personality is within. I mean, you're your own. You make yourself happy. And I'm going to tell you, the mind's a powerful tool, and it's how you carry yourself. How you go about your day, how you treat others. That's how you're going to get through life in happiness.
Absolutely.
That was very good, and that is so true. I like that. Own it. We have to own it.
People how you want to be treated. That's always my motto is.
That's good.
Always
That's very good. And that's something that I think we all need to make sure that we do more often. Some of us can do it naturally. I know you two are very good at it. But we need to be mindful of it, because we all matter. It takes all of us. When you're eating a fruit salad, it would be very boring. Now, I like oranges, but if someone said, "Would you like fruit salad?" and I said yes, and they brought me a bowl of oranges, honestly, I would say, where's the other fruit? Like what that you brought?
Right.
So I like oranges too, but then why didn't you just say, do I want oranges? So that's how it is with people. We all of our differences and our uniqueness, all of our personalities work together. We really do need one another. And so it's good to know, to own it. The first thing is knowing who you are, being able to walk in that. If you own that, then you truly can bring yourself to the table and offer truly the gift within that God has for you to give. So personality is everything. I like that. Treat others as you would want to be treated. That is absolutely right. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
Lynetta,
Yes.
make yourself a priority. Give us a little tidbit on that.
Ooh. I mean, like, it says it all. Make yourself a priority, because
really
we're so
does.
used to putting everybody and everything in front of us, ahead of us, that we forget ourselves. It is nothing wrong with making yourself a priority, making sure that you got what you need and that you can, make it through this life also.
So it's not selfish?
Please. No, it's not selfish.
Okay.
It's self-care. We don't use the correct verbiage when we talk about ourselves. So it's called self-care. Please make yourself a priority. Any dream, goals, aspirations that you have in your life, go for them. Do it. Do it. If someone else comes to you, like your cousin, sister, brother comes to you, mom, whoever it is, comes to you like, hey, can I jump in there? Not right now, because I'm dealing with me first.
That's right.
Because if you're not good to yourself or for yourself, then how can you be good to anyone else? So make us a priority, please.
Absolutely right. We have to make ourselves a priority. I know in times past, for much of my life, I felt guilty for that. I don't anymore.
Right.
Let me just say that right now. How about that? I do not anymore.
Right.
Okay, I repeat. No.
For you.
But
Right.
it is important. For those of us who travel, I tell you, they tell you over and over, every airplane you get on, you put your mask on first. If something should happen, if that plane starts,
Yes.
if you see that mask come down, okay, yes, your family's on the road, but they don't say, put it on your family, then put it on you. Nope. They say, put it on yourself first. So we must make
Right.
sure we're okay, because we do. I think, right now, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking of you two. Now,
Yes.
honestly, you two are big inspirations to so many people, and I
Thank
have
you.
goosebumps right now.
you.
But you really are. So imagine, but it took you guys putting yourselves first.
Absolutely.
Had you guys not done that, you wouldn't even be your best self. And in you being
Right.
your best self, as you move forward to that person, you putting self-care. I like how you said that. It's not selfish, it's self-care. And
Yes.
in you guys doing that, that is what's shining over and pouring over onto the rest of us. That's why we are
Right.
getting encouraged. So all of you who are so, that are helpers, I just want to help.
Yes.
No, forget about me. It's about other people. I'm not saying it's not, but in you taking care of yourself, it becomes about other people, because that
Right.
will encourage them. So priority, self-care. It's very important. Like
Right.
Tonya explained how she has that one day that's her day. Well, same thing. Find something, even if it's just you sitting in your car for an hour, you taking a
Right.
hot bath, you going on something, but you need that self-care.
Right.
Tonya, be assertive. Tell us about being assertive.
Being assertive. It's a good one. Got me on a.
And and I say this too, I was thinking, you being in the sport that you're in, and being, if it's a female in this sport, there are many times, being assertive has to happen, because, and just in life as
Right.
women anyway, but, truly taking a stand and saying, no, I am good at what I do. Matter of fact, I do it real well. And matter of fact, I look real good. Just being, that whole place of that. So if you could share with us more on that, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I doing that, and then when I'm in the gym, and especially now that I'm like leaning out for a show, and I can tell like when people will come up, the compliments I'm getting. I know that
Yes.
I'm doing what I need to be doing. But
Right.
as far as that, I think that's pretty much gives me my what you call it, my jump start. So,
Yes, yes.
get in the gym and have my gym fam at the iron office. And,
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
going.
And and it goes with what you said about personality too. You owning you and walking in your own skin of who Tonya is and all that Tonya is capable of being and becoming. That right there is assertive in every way. So
I'll tell you what, there was a couple years I didn't even want to walk into a building because I couldn't even really walk. So coming from barely walking to, full on leg pressing again, or doing squats again, or even a lunge. I couldn't even do a lunge. I couldn't even pick my leg up to roll over in bed. So I had to pick it up with my hands to roll it over. So yes, to answer your question, yeah.
That is powerful. The powerful in the fact that where you sit today and where you are today, that truly is, the definition, as we read earlier, of a comeback. Truly, you walking into who you are. Here's one. We're going to give you one more, everyone, before we close out. Lynetta, and forgiveness, forgiving yourself. I'm going to have you speak about forgiving yourself, and I'm going to have Tonya speaking about forgiving others.
Right.
Lynetta, go.
Forgiving myself. There's countless decisions that I've made in my life that I wasn't pleased with in the long run. And I couldn't get over this hump. I couldn't get to my success because I was still upset with myself. For example, I ended up becoming pregnant when I was in college, and that put me on a back burner because I was playing basketball at the time. And then I was like, okay, now I have this kid, what I'm going to do? And I gave up basketball. But I was receiving letters from colleges, and I was so angry with myself. Like for 10 years, I didn't even realize or understand where it came from. And when I went to my therapist and I talked to him, and he was like, tell me a little about yourself. And I'm going through it, and I started pulling that out, and it was just like, and then I got pregnant with my son, and I couldn't finish basketball because I wanted to go to the WNBA, and I had all these goals for me. I did not forgive myself. And it was like, okay, look, Netta, you wanted to pursue those goals. You didn't accomplish them, but look at everything you were able to accomplish. A beautiful family, successful business, kids that's not driving me wall too much. But it was just like, it was time for me to forgive myself and release that and understand that God had a bigger and better plan. When I look around, I'm like, I have no room to receive all the blessings that he has for me. And that was through forgiveness.
Ooh, thank you for sharing that, because that's...
You're welcome.
Oh, forgiveness is a huge component, everyone. Tonya, can you add to that with regards to forgiving others?
Yes.
Forgiving others?
Yes.
I'm not one to hold a grudge, ever.
That's good.
And forgiveness,
good.
I mean, you never forget. You truly don't, as much as people want to say they might, but you never forget it, but you must forgive. And only I say that is because to move on from that, forgiveness is the key.
Absolutely.
You have to forgive.
Right.
Forgiveness, everybody, is vital. We must forgive ourselves. We must forgive others. Like Lynetta said, life is about decisions. We're going to make wrong decisions. Even if you're doing everything right, you're not going to always make the right decision. You may make a decision that you feel is right at the time, and then you reflect on and go, what in the world was I thinking? So do you get stuck in that place? Or do you go, okay, you get up, you shake it off, you put some grass on it, and you keep moving. It's a learning lesson. We don't, instead of looking at it as a oh, I made this mistake and it's a negative. No, you now
Right.
have something, an opportunity to grow and to learn. And so
Mhm.
forgive yourselves, everyone. Say to yourselves, I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive me, and I forgive others. You know, those of us, we've all been hurt by something, someone, some parent, some spouse, some ex-spouse, some whatever. But we have to forgive because
Right.
situations that we're in that can cause that, well, they have their side too. So just
There's
forgive and
always two
keep it
sides.
moving.
Right.
Absolutely. And the real, there's that one and the real story. But forgiveness is vital. So we have definitely come to the end. But Tonya, we have to have you tell us how we can contact you. We have to have you tell us, you know, what we can do, you know, a little bit. We have to have that before we go. People need to know how they can get a hold of you.
You can contact me through email at tonyaifbbpro@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, ifbbpro_Tonya Brookter, and DM me on there. I would love to hear from you. I got some good rates right now.
Yes.
You know, summertime vibes. So those are two ways you can contact me.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Everybody, did you hear that? As you see under her name right there, we have her information. We have what her name looks like on Facebook and what it looks like on IG. And DM her. Everybody listen. I talk about this all the time about movement. In order to live happy, healthy lives, you have to move. We are three-part beings, spirits. First, spirits who have a soul. We live in a body. Now, yes, okay, I love the Lord and you know, this is all my focus is here. But you do know that being healthy is part of that too. So in order for you to carry out the path that God has for you, the body that you're in, the flesh suit that you're currently carrying, you need to take care of it. And the reality is this. Scripture tells us that my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. So we think of that sometimes just, okay, when it comes to like the scripture or this and that, but that means in every area. If you're having issues with finance, there's people that know what to do. If you're having issues with emotional and things there's people that know what to do. There are professionals. There are counselors, credit counselors. There's counselors for just therapists. So in every way, there are people. Well, likewise, we're not saying that, to be very honest, most people do not know how to train. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying it to be truthful because
Right.
that's what I do. I have to tell you the truth. But there are people like Tonya who know what to do. They
Absolutely.
know what to do for you. It is just picking up a diet off of the internet. No, it's not a cookie cutter thing. You need someone who knows how to navigate, how to adjust, how to fix things, how to tell you, you're doing that wrong. What are you doing that for? For your chest? Well, you worked your shoulders. My point to that is we have professionals. Tonya is one. Contact her, DM her, find out her rates. It's summertime. Everybody wants to be in shape, whether you admit it or not. So let's do it. Just trust the process, keep it moving, do a little bit at a time, and trust what you're doing. So all of that will help you move forward in your independence. So as we close out, I'm gonna have everyone, starting with Lynetta, go ahead and give their closing remarks. If it's one word, 2 words, whatever it is, a sentence.
I have a little quote. This is by Natalie T. It says, she needed room to grow for she can have the opportunity to become a beautiful rose. So instead of she, I put my name. Lynetta needed room to grow for she can have the opportunity to become a beautiful rose. So no matter what you have in your life, what you have going on, any desires that are there, you have the power to shape your life and groom your life for what you want. So have a great weekend.
Ooh, thank you. Yes. Tonya.
I don't know where I went.
We see you.
We see you and we hear you. We
Well,
see
I
you
don't
and
see
hear you.
anybody, so
Okay.
it's good.
So can you give us your closing remarks? Do you have anything you would like to just leave with anybody? It could be anything. It could be one word, a sentence, whatever it is.
All I got to say is no matter the obstacle, keep grinding, keep your positive thoughts. I know there's always little voices telling you otherwise, but Don't let those obstacles take you backwards. Have them push you forward. Always push forward. Always grind.
Ooh, I
Always.
love it. Thank you so very much, both of you. From the bottom of my heart, again, thank you too for being inspirations in my life, things that help, that encourage me. And so thank you for that. And everybody listen, it is up to you to take charge of your life. It is up to you to move forward in independence. Celebrate you. Discover you. Forgive you.
Yes.
Move forward in your passions. It's time you live an independent life. It's time to live a life of independence. I thank you so much for tuning in today. I thank you, Tonya, for coming on. We're gonna have to have you come back on because really we need to have you come on and pose. And Lynetta, I'm so glad I missed you the last few times.
I'm back.
And Shawana, hey girl. I know you tired after 33 hours trying to fly to Ohio. And we just thank you again. Remember, it's up to you to love me, love life, live healthy, and remember to just say yeah. Have a good Saturday.